Welcome back, Dragon Slayer, to the Lucky Die in Kino. Previously, Greff avoids becoming plant food, Ivoris makes a delivery, Kith talks with a bed-and-based plant, and Tawree offers water in a desert. The former Kit team finds their former boss in the desert in the company of the leader of Kino, who is being pursued by the cleric of the Blissful Eclipse. The haven in the desert provides a unique way of protecting itself from danger, and now with Admiralov, the team contemplates rescuing an old foe. How hard is the cleric looking for the team? Is rescuing Arlos a good idea? And what training does Ultrop have in store for Tawree? I guess you're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die in Kino.
The four of you, plus Admiralov and your bunny companion, are making your way towards Sylvana. Greff, you are, I'm assuming, wearing the Scarf of Invisibility and having activated it probably about an hour after you've attuned to it. And it is up to you whether you are or are not wearing your ring of disguise also. That is, alter self. That is entirely up to you.
I think there's a higher chance that a person would assume this random Goliath isn't a threat than a person would assume that a random human isn't a threat. So I'm keeping the disguise self ring on.
Okay, great.
Didn't Cass need to change their appearance? Or find a new alias?
Yes. What new appearance are you going to go for, my friend?
I don't know. Guys, help.
So you can be doing this as you're making your way through. So
you could disguise yourself as one of my kids.
I can't change my height that much.
Oh no!
Just a really tall child.
How big would what's their name? Cass be in their normal form? The same as
I
me?
can tell you, normal form would be 5'6". I can turn into a human.
Super small.
I don't recommend it.
That's a bad idea, bud.
Have you considered
the yellow tiefling?
Sarissa.
Don't turn into a politically important person.
No, Sarissa isn't. No, Sarissa was the yellow tiefling that were looking after the
that
kids.
was looking after the kids.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking yellowhorn tiefling.
No, not not
the guy that you
not
punched.
Ennis. Yeah, Ennis, whose horn you broke.
The
no,
guy
not
who
Ennis.
got himself punched. Let's be very clear about what happened.
See, so out of character issue here is the problem that me, Arch, is not sure what voice I would do for a new form.
Oh, please don't do that voice that you just had, the southern thingy.
What southern thingy?
You were just super southern just now.
I could go more southern and just make Neil cringe all the time.
No.
Well, what short races are there in Kino? There's goblins.
Gnomes and goblins.
How big are the goblins?
Well, Admiralov is 3
Gnome
foot
size.
2.
I don't think I can change
yeah.
that big of a height. Hold on a second. Where the fuck's my shape-shifting?
Right. Yeah, of course, your height thing. Sorry. I went for small because I just enjoyed the
way.
idea.
I think it's the usual
then
rule
they
of
could
thumb.
just have changed into one of my kids if they wanted to go
Yeah.
small.
You'd just be slightly older kid.
I did think that Arches was extended, though.
What's extended?
why would you want him to emulate your kids, though?
Okay, so the
Your
only
up and down range, your height.
the only limitation is the creature's size. So if a goblin is considered a small, I can't do it. If they're considered a medium,
they're small.
I can do it.
So what if you turn into a dwarf-sized goblin, because technically they are medium?
Jesus Christ, Aethel. No.
I genuinely hate that they made dwarves medium-sized. It genuinely bothers me.
It's because they can be about 5 foot something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's
You got to remember
that's
they're
why-
wide.
Yeah.
That's where the height is. You turn them on the side.
They're cube shaped.
That's where the size comes
They're
from.
roughly 5 foot by 5 foot.
Can you do a Arakokra? Or what they called? A bird person?
The problem is V's already kind of established. They
Whistle.
kind of more of a sing-songy.
And also, they don't exist.
Right.
It's Warforged that don't exist.
Birds aren't real. The Kino
Same,
government.
because that's
Changing
that's
it.
one of the races that we haven't had on the cast yet.
Yeah, true.
Have we had lizard folk?
Nope.
Are they a Kino race? Does that
Yep. That would work.
lizard folk with a fucking
That actually really
New
fits.
York
I like
accent?
It's beautiful.
That. Hey, I'm gonna eat your
It'll be
legs.
the-
Bada bing.
Yeah, just basically, we oh my god.
Hey, you
Don't
want to
make
come
me
back
bring
to
more
my
lizard
swamp
folk in,
ball?
otherwise you will have the worst version of this accent. I couldn't. No, yeah, that's totally fine. They'd be like basically considered the same as like anyone else really, with the exception of UNT. Yeah, go for it. All right, so the 4 of you plus Adenlov and your bunny companion find yourselves walking through the woods. You're making your way to Shilvana. You have time to change the forms that you want to have. Greff, you're going to keep your ring on and still be Goliath looking because there's a lot less suspicious, I think. Cool. Nod of approval. And I guess it's up to you. Arch, are you taking a new form?
It's probably for the best, especially being that now there is a possibility that this form might have been found out somehow, and I can't go back to being a drow because that found out, and scrying is weird. Yeah, so Kaz needs to have a new form.
Okay. So what are you going to go for?
Would you say that Kaz at some point in their travels may have encountered a creature of, let's say, a lizard-ish form capacity?
The form of a really big
A folk
gecko.
of the lizard variety, one might say.
Yes, that is absolutely possible, yeah.
Okay, then I think that's probably just obscure enough that people wouldn't question.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like, we haven't really come across them because, as everybody knows, my knowledge of D&D groups are somewhat limited, so they'd be around just as much as anybody else, so absolutely, yeah, that's totally fine. All right, y'all are making your way towards Shilvana. It is day 69. Nice. It is also the first day of winter, and there is a lot of snow beginning to fall. And as you arrive here in Shilvana, you can see that the snow is falling pretty heavily. You can see that there are a lot of people bundling up against the cold. Most of you probably don't have a lot of cold weather gear on you immediately, but it is something you could get access to fairly quickly.
I need to find a name.
Adenlov turns to look at the group of you and she says, right, I don't exactly know where all of you are, and you can see her looking around for like the same height level that Greff would be at, but she can't see him, he's invisible. And she says, I don't exactly know what we'll be looking for in the capital or exactly what we'll be arriving to, but we need to make sure that we're prepared. Is there anything that you need? I have a little money and some contacts saved up.
What exactly is the plan? I don't know.
If you weren't here, my plan would be to break into the palace at the capital and find out where they're keeping Arliss and extract him with the least amount of notice as possible or the bloodiest possible. That's my plan.
I have undergone some changes I'm doing the S thing again. Hold on. Fuck me.
This is a whole different mouthfeel for you as well, so it's going to take time.
I've undergone some changes recently, but I still should be able to see into the future. If we could just find somewhere safe where we won't be tracked down and buy some time, it might help us answer some questions, better prepare, you know.
I have a place in the capital, a safe house of sorts, where I send a few of the kit teams from time to time. There should not be anyone there currently. We should be able to hole up there at least an hour or so. Would that be long enough?
Perhaps. It depends.
And if not, then we'll make it safe if not. We better to go in prepared since there are all of us. Somewhat changed my plans. A little harder to be sneaky with 5, 6, and add a lot of points towards where the bunny is hiding behind Tawree's leg. Okay.
How far is the capital from here?
Well, provided my contact is where I think they are, we should be there probably within the next 10-15 minutes.
Oh.
But that kind of depends on if you folks need anything. Or if any of you need to leave messages for people. And she kind of looks very pointedly at Ivoris.
Yeah, I just, I've got no way of getting messages to people. And, not without using a good portion of my energy. And I'm not sure we can risk it. I just want to focus on making it through this. I'm not sure this is... I don't think this is possibly going to stop this. No one's nearly organized enough.
No. And if my information and data on Arliss is correct, I think he may know more about the assembly and how they are organized and run. I mean, for thousands of years, they kept the artifacts safe. Much better than they did in Discora, apparently.
We have to focus on keeping Arliss and pointedly myself and looks over at whatever you look like now.
Yeah, Adolf looks at you as well and is like, what do we call you now?
Apologies to the listeners, but this is how it's going to be.
Do you want a patron name?
Oh no, I got a name.
Okay, great.
No, sorry to the Patreons, but I like having my own names.
Yep.
You're probably gonna just want to call me Vox. I think that's a name of a lizard folk I came across quite a few years ago.
Like the Latin for voice?
So I'm sorry, what?
Like the Latin for voice?
Yeah.
VOX?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I was trying not to get called out here, but if you're gonna try to pull that with me, yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you.
I'm just trying to spell it.
Thank you, Tawree. Thank you. No, I appreciate being called out already.
It's the arcane for voice. Nailed it.
There you go. Nailed it. Yeah, you're probably just going to want to call me Vox. I think that should be good. I don't think anybody's going to question that. Nobody sees lizard folk around here.
We need to focus on taking their tools away, not giving them more of them. We have to be very careful. We need to have a solid plan, and we don't have anything.
No. I understand that, and I think that if anything were to happen, and things get dicey, the pair of you should run.
Do you think Alice is in a position where he could get in a 3x3 box?
She looks at you with a tiny bit of disgust. No. Not unless you cut his legs off, and I don't think he'd agree with that.
He likes it.
I'm sorry to say that's also not one of those magics I really have either.
No. I don't think so. But I'm dead set on this. If things go sideways, you two should go. And Tawree, I don't know your connection with the deities, but...
Oh, wait, actually, I do. Hold on.
Well, I'm trying to figure out a way where we can get in and out, perhaps from a distance. I could send a select few in. We can try to manage the size of the trip back somehow. And then shoot there in a box and shoot away in another box. But that is most, if not all, of my magic.
There may be things that Alice has that could help. There are probably people who owe us all favours and folks who could help. And to be fair, we don't even know where he is. Perhaps we'll just happenstance upon him in a room and be able to get him out. I don't know exactly where he is, or if he's being under suspicion or held. I just know that he put himself in a lot of danger for us. And we at least owe it to go back and get him. And to obviously take tools away from Kells. I guess we'll have to assess that situation when we get there.
I'm just going to start doing future stuff, because walk and talk type stuff,
Okay.
He's going to go ahead and try to answer that question right now, so that we can start a plan of any sort and figure out where in the future, at the current pace, with the current situation, we would run into Alice.
Okay.
Following Adelaw, essentially.
Okay. Do yourself a futures check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Your connection with this is becoming
Not so
less
great.
strong. Okay, super not good right now.
Okay.
By the way, not ignoring the situation, Greff just isn't allowed to talk right now.
Correct.
Oh, are we already in the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
You folks have kind of made it here, and you're making your way kind of through the streets and towards this kind of like really like nice looking 3-story building, which some of you would know would be the casino, run by Mr. Mashik.
Oh, neat. I am disguised. How?
I believe we had disguise kits, which Adenlov is proficient at, and it basically managed to make you look a bit more like a tabaxi with slightly different colorations.
Okay.
Tawree being fine as she is, because Tawree
Never been here.
Yep, never been here.
Tawree is probably just because this is probably one of the first big cities, just looking around like, oh, big city.
Yeah, that's fair. Adenlov just, she made herself look smaller and dirtier and hopefully more overlooked. She also doesn't have a bright red scarf on, so it's a little easier for her to not stand out than she did before. Yeah, unfortunately, your futures check yields you nothing, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm blind for 60 seconds.
Just for a little bit. Like one of your companions can help guide you along. Greff could probably help guide you along since he's invisible and no one can see him helping you. Like, super easy. You arrive at the 3-story building, which most of you would know would be basically the casino type. She takes you around the back and she kind of whistles a little bit and then kind of jumps over the fence, telling the lot of you to stay where you are. There is like a really quiet conversation, which not many of you can really pick up at all, but it's very quick and very, very swift and to the point. Words that don't seem to make sense said together, clearly some sort of passcode. And then a small goblin lady comes out. standing next to Adenlov, and she ushers you in, has a finger to her lips, and you get led into this very nice looking garden area. The things are really well paved. There is like torches and braziers around. There are really nice benches. There are beautiful looking plants and flowers, and the air smells like honeysuckle. She very quietly takes you to the edge of this area behind a set of bushes and underneath kind of this kind of gazebo looking thing. She waves a hand and says a quick sentence, and you can see that the ground just drops a little bit and it reveals a small tunnel. And Adenlov ushers you all inside. Those of you staying back a little bit can see Adenlov passing over a very large amount of gold coins. She says thank you and ushers herself down. The pathway behind you closes and you find yourself in what looks like a small room. There are a couple of people down here playing cards and betting extortionate amount of gems and brightly coloured trinkets. And I believe that Kith would probably recognise... Sorry, Kaz, my bad. I'm going to remember this properly one
Vox, take your pick.
Vox.
Doesn't matter what you call me as long as you call me.
Thank you for not going for another K name.
You're welcome.
Vox, you would recognise this very much as kind of that underground setting where you found originally some of your contacts to get you guys to the capital in the first place. And in fact, at least Ivoris and Greff would recognise Shelley.
Oh, hell yeah, this brings me back.
Greff's gonna lean in real close to Adenlov's ear and just like, I need to stay hidden a little longer, right?
Adenlov just kind of like takes a step in front of where she thinks you are, which is clearly in the wrong direction. But yeah, you kind of get the indication that she wants you to not reveal yourself.
Okay.
Well, seems like I need to cash in that favour, Shelley. I and my friends here need a quick trip to the capital. And Shelley looks at Ivoris, because I think that's the only one that they would recognise at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just the eye.
That sucks.
I can do very limited things to make my eye any different.
Also,
Wait, probably
Shelley
your
can-
armor.
Yeah. Shelley can kind of
If I'm
see a little
disguised.
bit through a disguise. It's good at a distance, but up close to someone who's been around you a bit, it's just kind of obvious. And she says, Ivoris.
Good to see you.
All right, here's the deal. I'll get you there, and then I'm starting off. I am not doing anything more. I'm wanted in the capital. I don't want anything to do with this, all right?
Getting flashbacks.
No magic, no nothing. I just want to be in and out. I don't want to be there any longer than I have to be. How many of you are there? Just the 5 of you? And Adenlov kind of like coughs and's like, well, there are 6, actually. But the other one has chosen to remain invisible and silent.
Greff's gonna like gently just tap Shelley somewhere on their body within reach.
Shelley just kind of like jumps a foot in the air and she's like, right, okay, right, okay, okay, well, this is the last favour you're ever getting out of me because I do not want to go to the capital. No. All right. Adenlov turns and looks at the 3 of you and hopefully generally in the area where she thinks Greff might be. She says, you sure there's nothing before we leave?
Not unless you know somebody that might be able to do a quick bit of identifying. Because, it occurs to me I kind of been walking around with a sword. I don't know what the fuck it does.
Shelley? Shelley's just like, not unless you pay me. I am not doing shit all extra for you.
I only have 15 gold, and I'm still walking around with what's-his-nuts' sword.
I need
That's the
a
only
little
thing I
bit
really
more.
would like to know.
I need a tiny little bit more information on what's his nut sword.
What the fuck's his name? The snake dude. Jared.
Oh, right, yes.
The scimitar. We never fucking identified it. I've been walking around with this thing, and I don't know what it does.
I have a lot of crushed diamonds.
You do.
What? I'm sorry. Why do you have crushed
There
diamonds?
is a casino upstairs. And they are betting with gems.
Oh, hell yeah. Go gambling. Let's go.
Tawree has never been to anything like that. She wouldn't know that.
Well, okay, hold on, Tawree. Listen, if you're going to go gambling, you need to have at least one person spotting you because they're all fucking cheats. Trust me.
I don't know what gambling means. I've never... What? I mean, I know how to play games, but what for...
Games for money is what
no.
it is, yeah.
I've never... We never did that in my village.
You're better off. You'll live longer that way, trust me.
Tawree's gonna be like gets a one taste of like the degeneracy of gambling, and she's like, oh, I love this.
No, we have to stay here.
Tawree's going to go to the blackjack table where the dealer is going to rig it so that Tawree wins the first round and is instantly hooked.
Yep. That's how it works.
But Tawree just likes colorful things, and these are crushed diamonds, and they're colorful. So I'd rather keep the colorful things.
I have, I think, 910 gold left. Unless you have more, and then I'm just keeping track of... I don't know what I have on my sheet.
I have Scaramouse's money, which is 3,500 gold.
Okay.
I'm sorry, who?
Scaramouse's?
Where did you get 3,500 gold from?
Scamos?
Remember when you gave Neil a bunch of gold because you knew Neil would be chill about it?
Yeah.
Well, Chill passed it on to Greff, who is not chill about it.
Oh, right. Yeah, Scamos. Scamos is gold.
I kept a small amount.
Yes.
I think like 800 gold, and since then we've gained a little bit. So I have 910 on my sheet.
I have a lot of this.
But
I don't know how much those crushed diamonds are worth.
Did you just write crushed diamonds and no money amount? Or?
320 crushed diamonds from the death of Lithander. That's what I wrote
it's
down.
320 golds worth of crushed diamond.
Oh, okay, so each one is a gold. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got the diamond equivalent of what happened to Laffian. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got the
And I was
gem.
like, oh, these are colorful, and then cashed them in.
Stat boost equivalent of what happened to everyone else.
Yeah. All right.
Do you need money?
So
I mean, you do have those 3,000.
Greff
I just need the sword identified. That's the only thing I need on my end. Everything else is going to be too far out of our league.
Greff is walking around in an unenchanted armor. Is anybody in anything like? Actually, let's just be very frank here. Greff's running around decked out in magic shit. None of it defensive. It's very offensive or passive.
Shelley, do you know of a market where they might not care who comes through, or, just a quiet market somewhere in the capital?
In the capital?
Yeah. Kind of underground market.
There's like a...
I don't want us to be walking around shopping.
What's this knowledge worth to you?
Look, I know things are stolen in the capital all the time. And I know there are people selling them.
I'm saying I might happen to know where they are. I might happen to know where they are. But, you see, I'm kind of forgetting exactly where it is. I think a little something might help jog my memory,
How about
like
50
images
gold?
or... Right, okay. I need to see it to get the memory of it, love.
Yeah. He puts 50 gold down.
It very quickly disappears into someone's pocket. It may not necessarily be Shelley's.
That was about 40 gold more than you needed to be dropping there, sir.
No.
He has no concept of money.
Right?
You got the concept of it, right? Yeah, there's this... I mean, I can drop you straight there, if you prefer. I mean, where I put you in a capo doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, we should probably stop and grab a few things.
Right,
I, for one, would like to figure out how I can send a message, somewhat privately.
Right. Yeah, I think this person will probably be able to do it all right.
Sounds good.
Right. Good. All right then.
By the way, I just want to put this out there in case you might have noticed that Tawree, like, she has no idea about equipment and stuff. She's just still running around with her wooden spoon and like leather equipment.
That's the best equipment.
Yeah.
Like, Tawree would not have a concept of upgrading.
Yep. Okay, they can definitely help you and deal with that.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Take the diamond dust and just glue it to the wooden spoon. There you go. It's diamond.
I love it.
Does the
Diamond
rest
encrusted. Yep. Shelley puts one hand out onto Ivoris's shoulder and puts her hand out onto Admirov's shoulder. And
You should make a spork. +1 spoon.
Makes it so it's bludgeoning or piercing.
I'm sorry for
And if I sharpen the edge at the top a little bit, it's also a knife.
You can do all 3 damage types.
Slicing damage with a spoon.
this is the worst. But I will allow that bullshittery of all types of damage type if you ever come up against it. Anyway, Shelley reaches out and you all link up somehow. Greff, you can basically just put your hand on anybody's shoulder and you'd be included in this. And Shelley gives enough time for that to happen and just hopes that you're there. And you find yourselves being pulled through the stalking. Everything goes a strange sepia color and everything seems to slow down a lot. Can I have any one of you roll a perception check for me, please?
Me.
Sure.
Yes, please.
It's my time to shine. Dirty 20.
Damn!
There we go.
Filthy 20. On a filthy 20, you notice that kind of watching the group of you, there is this very small hooded figure. You can see that their hands are kind of like, they seem to be like dealing cards to themselves in front of a table nearby. And you see they have very long skeletal fingers. And for the briefest moment, you think they look up at you. And if a skeleton could smile, you think it is doing so. You notice that as you skit your way through the stalking. You find yourself suddenly standing on solid ground again as you find yourself at the back of this alleyway. And the alleyway comes to a dead end. It goes on much further ahead of you and turns and twists. And the alleyway's the back of people's fences, a small residential area. In the end of the corridor where you are, it is nasty and vile. The ground is not smooth or at all well maintained. It has lots of little pebbles and rocks all over it, and the ground is quite dark. The wood itself, in places where like the fences are at the back of people's gardens, some of them are broken and chipped, and some of them are completely missing altogether. Behind you, at the end of this alleyway that you find yourself in, you see that there is this small wooden house. It's not in a terrible condition. It's probably better than most of the buildings around here, but it's still in a state of disrepair. You can see that the roof itself is definitely leaking. You can see there are some holes in there. There's a lot of moss overgrowing everything, and vines seems to have kind of choked the life out of one of the support beams, and part of the porch has fallen in. Right. Well, I did my bloody job.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
That was my cue to go.
No. If anybody's going to know, it's you. What the
Shelley
fuck was
goes.
that? Okay. Was I the only one that saw that? Anybody? What the fuck? What? There was a thing
to
that...
the specter?
Yeah, that. What was that?
Do I know what that is?
If you describe it, I guess you could either make a religion check or a history check, if anyone can, on that description.
Yeah, Vox would describe it. It'd be like, I don't know what the fuck that was. I'd never seen that shit before.
17 religion.
Yeah, you may be passingly familiar with what a spectre is. You would probably know that they're agents of death. You just don't exactly know what their role is, and people being able to see them when they pass through the stalking is exceptionally unusual, and they only tend to be around people who are about to die, or potentially die. Yeah.
Or otherwise can't seem to die.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It means that we might be in a bit of trouble.
Oh, good. I mean, when aren't we? But good. Good to know.
Right. They're specters, and they are creatures of the stalking plane who hang around people who are about to die, potentially, by what I understand.
Cool. So 25% chance for each of us. Nice.
No.
Oh, sorry. Actually, it's a 20% chance. Sorry. I don't know if I had a bit of a brain fart there.
Right. Well,
Unless it's just here for all of us.
Oh, in that case, then 100%, even better.
I'm very encouraged by this. Shit.
Let no one accuse Ivoris of being a motivational speaker.
Kaz Fox, remind us to have a little talk.
Sure.
You notice that all around you there is a lot of snow that is falling. Winter has definitely arrived. You also notice that it's way darker than it should be. So when you kind of arrived here, you're probably talking about 10, maybe 11 in the morning. Like, it's not late by any stretch of the imagination, but it is unusually dark. There is what looks like a dark storm cloud also headed in your direction. That's what you have around you right now. There's no body around that you could see at all. But the kind of like the gateway into the like decrepit rundown house, that is open. That's clearly well traveled. What do you folks want to do?
I mean, I take it that this house is probably the market you were looking for?
No idea. Well, I assume some of you have gold. I don't really have much left on me, I'm afraid, so not quite at my safe house yet. Okay, I'm going to hang about outside here and make sure that nobody follows up on us. Better to be safe than sorry. You go ahead. I'll be outside.
Do you need anything?
Well, I seem to be missing this scarf, if you happen to see it.
I'll keep an eye out.
I appreciate it. And you see her kind of like begin to lean into the shadows a little bit, and then she kind of just disappears from view. You can hear a little bit of rustling a little bit further away in kind of like this garden area that surrounds this building, but otherwise you don't really spot her.
Okay.
It's looking like rain.
Well,
we should find some place where we can seek shelter.
Let's go. And Ivoris goes up to the door, and to avoid looking like, suspicious, I'm just gonna go for the knob. I'm gonna go for the door handle, and pretend like I'm supposed to be here. I'm not gonna knock, draw attention to myself. No.
Yeah. So far as you know, nobody is around, apart from Adolf. The door swings open really easily as if you're supposed to be coming in and out of it. And immediately the four of you get hit with this like smell of like baking bread and like freshly brewed tea. The inside of this building is actually a little bigger than what you would expect it to be from looking on the outside, and actually very well maintained, and it's very warm and welcoming. But you can also notice that there are tables and chairs that are kind of set up and ready for business. You can see this slightly older tiefling lady. She has very dark blue scales with lighter blue. She has very dark blue skin with lighter blue scales around her eyes, and she just has that kind of like kind of shawl blanket over her shoulders, and she's like pouring tea into a pot. And she hears the door open, and as soon as she turns around, she snaps her fingers, and she suddenly appears much taller and more confident, maybe a little younger even. Definitely magic. And you notice that she's wearing this kind of bright Hawaiian shirt with these cargo shorts, and she's wearing kind of like flip-flop type things. And immediately she smiles and says, "Welcome to Carson's. Welcome to Sarson's. Come, sit down.
God,
what can I do for you?"
This is why we can't have nice things, V.
What makes you think I wasn't going to do this?
Maybe there was like a dark underworld version of Carson's. I don't fucking know.
That's it.
She kind of like offers you all to sit down. welcome to Sarsens. Everybody for tea. You. And she points exactly in the direction of where Greff is. You don't worry about disguises here, my dear. Come sit down. And she just waves her hand and the door closes behind you all.
I mean, okay. Greff just takes the scarf off. Sits down.
Much more pleasant. No need to pretend here. We're amongst friends. Well, acquaintances. So, she immediately begins to, like, pour tea into 4, like, small bone china little cups and saucers. And she's like, so, what can this department of Sarsens do for the 4 of you?
We need better defensive gear.
Mm-hmm.
And Greff is poignantly looking over to Tawree's direction. I am pretty sure she is wearing hunting gear, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely like something like leather.
Yeah.
Very basic stuff.
I think I've seen people get hit by deers wearing stuff like that. I think. I'm pretty sure that's just hunting gear. So whatever might fit her well.
So, if I quite understand this, you've come to Sarsens, the underbelly, to get better armor.
I need to send a message.
Right, and a
Quietly.
message. Right, yes. You can see that she kind of sits down at the table, like her glasses are on like the beaded strings, and she puts them up onto the end of her nose. And she pulls out this little like notepad and a quill. She's like, right, armor. Better just for the one of you or all of you?
Well, money is an issue at some point, so...
She very carefully puts down her quill, takes her glasses off the end of her nose, and lets them drop to her chest, like, then you've probably come to the wrong part of Sarsens, my dear.
You're misunderstanding. We don't have infinite amount of money. I mean, we've got cash. Don't worry about that, but...
Well, I wasn't expecting a charge, dear. This is... You're obviously all very new, aren't you? This part of Sarsens is cash only, no paperwork, no receipts. Don't ask where I got it from, and I won't ask what you want it for, nor will I ever remember your faces and names. Do you understand?
Fine.
Right.
Is Kaz aware of, like, this business practice and how these things usually tend to work?
Yeah, I mean, you're probably aware that there is an underbelly version of Sarsens that goes around, but you've never been to one.
Okay. Okay, so I think I have a pretty rough idea of how this all works and everything. It's not the first time I've seen this sort of thing. Why don't we give you a budget of roughly how much we can work with? We tell you what we want, and then we go from there.
Let's begin with our main needs, because we aren't looking
Let's
to get in a fight.
Very quick assessment of what you need, like a priority list of items. Then you can give me the budget, and then I will either find some alternatives. Things that will work, things within your budget, things that are possible or not possible with the wares that I have on hand.
We're trying to get someone out from somewhere.
I don't need to know exactly what you're doing, and it is far safer that I don't you
Well,
think?
it's important that you know that if you have anything that helps us do that, it would help us. We need to move people from one place to another, and we're very somewhat limited
smuggling. On that. Okay. I believe if you're looking for a smuggler of people, I believe that there is someone based in Shulvana who might be able to help you.
Yeah, out of curiosity, does this person have a name or a thing that they go by? Monica or something?
Monica, I think they use is Mara, I believe.
I fucking knew. Oh, okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay. All right.
Just text let me text my underground person. Sorry, my phone just reactivated.
Okay, so let's start off. We need defensive gear. And she puts her glasses back on the end of her nose. Defensive gear for tabaxi size. Right. You also wish to send a message.
Right.
Sending. That will set you back a pretty penny, I'm afraid, but we'll figure it out. What else? Is it just gear for one, gear for many?
I think this one here, referencing Greff, this one might need some protection as well.
Okay.
And we got a sword that needs identifying. That's about it, I think.
Identify. Few, my dear, and she gestures at Greff and at Tawree. My dears, are we talking shields or strictly armor?
Armor or anything magical for me.
Okay,
Armor,
no shields
I
for you
guess.
then. Okay, no
Nope.
shields. And what about you?
Just armor. And she puts up the spoon and if you can do anything to make this a little bit better, more effective in a fight.
Can you roll a persuasion check for me?
Magic spoon.
It's like,
Wait.
do you need a shield, better armor? Can you make my spoon better? It's adorable.
I want a
23.
bigger spoon.
No,
Persuasion.
Oh, my bad. 16.
Okay.
I don't want a different spoon. I just want to make this one better.
Mm.
If
Okay,
possible.
okay.
This is my soup spoon.
It's not the most usual thing I've been asked to enchant, but
It's an important item. I don't want to trade
it
it.
has sentimental value, so
Yes.
assuming that destruction of it, not okay, yes. Well, basic enchantments and magics will actually stop it from deteriorating over time, actually.
That might be helpful. It is a cooking spoon.
Dual use, of course.
It's sentimental. We don't want to wear it out.
So if it wouldn't change the taste of things I cook with it, that would be helpful.
Oh, no. By the time I'm done with it, please, I'm a professional, my dear.
Gold coating.
I think that might be a little garish, but if that's what you really want, sure.
That's what the nobles do.
Okay, so let me check. We have defensive gear for a tabaxi. We have defensive gear for a Goliath. We have one sending, one identify, and one enchanting spoon.
Scroll
Sounds like a
of
McDonald's.
enlarge or reduce.
You would like a what, sorry?
A scroll of enlarge or reduce.
Scroll, enlarge, reduce. And your budget. Not to be indelicate.
Greff just picks up the insane amount of gold that comes from Scaramouche. It just looks at Ivoris like
Scamos.
Scaramouche. I don't know why I want to say moose. Scaramouche.
No idea.
There's also no R in there.
Someone has Queen on the brain.
Can somebody say the name loud enough that I can actually hear it while I'm not talking?
Scamos.
Scamos.
He's
Thank
trying
you.
to scam you with moss.
All right, Scamos.
There you go. Okay.
Tawree also
Yeah.
pulls out the bag that she has with full of the crushed diamonds. If they
That
are
should-
helpful here.
That should be about 2,300 golds worth between us.
2,300 gold in this bag. She kind of looks over the bag of crushed diamonds. Like, I estimate that to be about 320 gold worth of crushed diamonds.
Wow, that's crazy how you knew that in an instant.
She kind of does that thing where she looks very hard over the top of her glasses, holding down this I am a professional, dear.
She's doing that thing in the shopping malls where you have to guess the amount of beans in a glass.
Yeah, she's just exceptionally good at it.
She gets banned from all the bars.
And so
Crushed
that
gems are different, right? They're worth less than the crushed diamond. I have those.
I believe I gave you a gold value to attribute to each of the crushed gem types. Like it was 320 gold, 420 golds worth of crushed gems.
Okay. Then I
When
might
we
have
were
just
trying to
put it
make
in my gold.
the whatchamahooza.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So between you, let me get this right. You have 2,300 gold in actual gold. You have 320 golds worth of crushed diamonds, it looks like. This is your budget.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god.
I feel like you put the cart before the horse, not the other way around. Like, I try to lead with the money problem.
Excuse me. You can see she kind of like stands up. She's seen the list already. She glances at it, glances at your cash, and she kind of like goes to the edge of the room and she like utters a single word and like a trapdoor opens and she makes her way downstairs. She disappears for a bit, about the same amount of time it takes me to look up exactly how much your fucking scrolls cost. Go ahead, chat amongst yourselves.
Did you guys see that? My name has made it to the capital. Full circle.
That is kind of impressive. I'm going to give you that. We still have like a lot of Scamos's gold aside. I just didn't think throwing all of it on the table would be
I thought that you had done that. I was going to suggest it, but I was not going to do it in character, so I was just going to let you do whatever.
No, you're better off that way.
Yeah, I have a feeling that lady's going to take everything we put on the table and say, "Oh, I stretched my budget as much as I could."
We gave her a lot of the percentage of things that we have, so even if she does have a way of knowing what we have, we gave her most of it.
Greff looks around
at least
for
like 60%.
We put our cards on the table.
Right. Yeah, the scroll. I don't know if you guys can use it, but that might help with the whole teleporting box problem.
I can shrink people down. Just, it's a high level spell because it's me turning them into like a little mouse or some shit.
Right. So the issue with that is that I have to take you and I there in the box, and then you have to turn someone else small enough that all three of us can get into another box that I make and send us back to somewhere else, and that takes 2 of my spells. However, it does put the 2 people that don't need to be captured in the place that is bad.
Feels like we are playing advanced Tetris.
Kaz, I've briefly mentioned that if Dindar dies, there are catastrophic circumstances that the Yonti are aware of attached to that. And it is largely the reason why I believe that the Yonti are involved in this and did not kill Dindar first.
Right.
If Dindar dies, that tilts the scale too much. They have things to do still. They can't afford losing their minds yet.
Okay.
Are there any catastrophic circumstances attached to the death of either of the gods that you are attached to? Any prophecies of apocalypse?
I'm not really sure. I could wager some guesses based on what the 2 of them are attached to. I could tell you right now, agriculture would be a pretty fucking bad one. Especially if there are armies that are actively trying to prevent things. Armies are nothing without food.
They could use you now.
Okay. Yeah.
But if I'm captured, they won't kill me yet. They would have already killed Dindar. They know. They have prophecies of the waking nightmare.
You hear footsteps coming back up.
We'll talk about this later.
Sorry, I thought I'd give you exactly the right amount of time for me to find this shit. It's perfect timing.
Point is made.
Right. I'm sorry, I feel like I've interrupted anything. Oh well, never mind. So,
No, you're right.
She sits down and she has like a couple of scroll boxes in front of her. She has what looks like a necklace, which is like really simple, but has like a couple of little jade ornaments of it. And she also has what looks like one set of magical, like, you guys are on leather, right? Studded leather?
I use scale mail, but yeah.
Okay. Well, studded is what I have.
We what's it called? We glamour armored it up because Greff running around in metal didn't seem as fun as him being in travel.
Okay. Right. Well, this is what I found in my basement. I found a scroll of sending that is a little bit more expensive than the scroll of identify and enlarge and reduce, but not by a whole bunch. I also have an armor with additional magical armor imbued into it. It should fit either one of you. It is magical. It will resize to suit. I also have a special little potion here, plus a scroll, which I could enchant your spoon with, which would protect it from the elements and give it a little extra fiery kick. I don't know if it would apply to your food, though, but that's entirely up to that. And I also have a very rare necklace of invisibility. So, as for costs, the scrolls themselves, I better be upfront with you, since some of you are unaware of exactly how the underside of Sarsens works. There is a small surcharge for my discretion, shall we say. No paperwork, no names, no clue on what it is you're doing, as she looks kind of a little side-eye Ivoris. So there is a small surcharge on some of these. So the scrolls, with the exception of sending, the enlarge, reduce, and the identify, they will set you back 100 gold a piece. The scroll of sending will set you back 200 gold. I'm going to write these down just in case I forget, but I did look at the numbers, adding a surcharge. So yes, currently 500. If I were to enchant your weapon, I can enchant it so it is a basic, does extra damage, protects it from all sorts of things. Or I could apply the slightly more expensive and yet much, much nicer overall fire enchantment, which would give it a little fiery kick to maybe cooking as well, but to definitely kicking the shit out of stuff. There is also the case of the studded leather. It is unfortunately just your basic plus a little bit of extra. It's that will set you back 3,000. And there is the necklace of invisibility. 1 use per day will get you the use of the invisibility spell. Not quite as good as the scarf that you currently have, but it is the best that I can offer.
So you skipped the price of the spoon and the necklace.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. So the spoon with your basic additional extra damage enchant is 500 gold or 750 gold for the additional fire damage. And you said the necklace? The necklace will set you back 2,500.
Do we need the scroll of enlarge and reduce? Greff asks Vox, basically.
That depends on us finishing that conversation we were having. But I leave
I'll tell you what. And she writes all the prices and all the information down, and she slides it across the desk, and she says, across the table. I'll tell you what, let me take my tea downstairs and come join me, and I will box the items up that you think you can afford. With that, she kind of swoops all the stuff back. She pours herself a tea, and she basically makes her way back downstairs.
I think before Tawree decides on the spoon thing, she would like to have to talk back with Ottrup, because Ottrup also offered to make the spoon better, but like...
Demon spoon.
I don't know if Ottrup is currently there, but in case.
He's around.
Yeah.
Like, he seems to be, like, sniffing everything. Like, this is also very new to him. Like, what the fuck is this place?
Starts chewing on a curtain or something.
No, Ottrup, no! Looks back at you, like, you know, like his like front teeth through like the important like looking like cushion in the corner. Like, what?
No, don't chew on the furniture. That's not food. I can give you berries later.
Everything is food if you're brave enough.
Yeah, he just sits back on his haunches and like kind of looks up at you.
Were you listening just now?
He nods.
You said yesterday that there was something you could do with a spoon that wouldn't make it a little bit better more suitable for dragon slaying.
I did.
What kind of thing, like what would we need to do to make it better?
Well, at the moment it is bereft of magic, which means it's not really going to get through its particularly thick hide. We would have to make it magical to start with.
I only heard rumors of dragons, but like the one we saw at the forge, it breathed. As I understand it, they breathe fire. Like, I don't think that the fire magic would be particularly useful against the dragon.
That entirely depends, as I understand it, on the dragon itself. There are some who can only breathe fire, and some who can breathe ice. Others can even spray acid. Maybe fire wouldn't be the most useful.
That is true. Do you think it is worth any of these enchantments would be worth it, or do you think what you have in mind would be a better choice on the long run?
I think for now, I would take the extra magic. Just the straight up extra whack to it.
The fire
Makes
enchantment?
it magic?
The other one.
The basic
And
package.
then let me take care of the additionals. It would make it easier. I wouldn't have to waste any of my energy at all on making it magic. I would just add to it.
That sounds good. Okay. And she just takes out the spoon and like looks at it thoughtfully.
Orstrup kind of like doesn't exactly disappear, but you see them like hopping off to a slightly different area just to investigate.
Booping around.
One spoon to rule them all.
You said 500 for that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy.
All right. So the reason I suggested the enlarge reduce scroll was because I assumed we didn't have that in our repertoire. We apparently do. So we can basically skip that. What I was thinking with that was a break in case of emergency if Aulis is incapacitated. So I don't have to carry him back. We could just shove him in a box and have him gone.
I can do that.
Yeah. That's basically what I was thinking with that, but since we have access to that, we can basically just skip it. So it's identify, we'll use that as a bargaining chip once we know what the sword actually does, or if you want to keep it, you can keep it, of course.
What about the amulet that she offered? I don't remember that we asked for anything like that.
No, I think she might just be trying to see the rest of our purses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's showing more than we can ever afford.
I mean, it's also not really necessary. I can turn people invisible. That's fine. That's easy.
It genuinely might also just be a weird flex. Okay.
Weird flex, but okay.
I mean, yeah, no, you work in the underground long enough. You got to flex where you can sometimes. Not a lot of people get to see it.
Yeah. The armor is just, unfortunately, massively out of our price range. It would basically be all of Ivoris's inheritance, and I do not feel comfortable making that choice.
Well, I only have 320 of these diamonds. Is there any chance you could borrow me the rest for the enchantment of the spoon?
Of course. Of course. That was... I didn't expect you to actually...
Ivoris pulls out his Dindar book and writes a message just to Greff.
Mm-hmm.
It says, how much money does your family need? Because he knows about that mess, right?
See, the weird fact is, Greff doesn't.
Greff doesn't?
Greff was never privy to the financial state, and it seems to have gotten a lot worse once he left. It wasn't that bad. But then again, if Mama Greff had just taken the free cow, it might have been fine, but you know.
I'm not even going to dignify without a response.
That's the conversation that we had after the dream.
Yeah.
It was like Ivoris had asked about it. And got the response that she was constantly ill and that it was a struggle financially. And so that was, I believe, a point of conversation out of Dream World.
Yep.
Yeah, Greff just kind of turns around like, I don't know the numbers, but everything that I have on me right now that doesn't belong to you should be more than enough to get my family straight. We don't need to worry about them. If I make it back, it's fine.
He just nods. This has all just been in a book conversation.
Okay, yeah.
Do your thoughts get written into the book?
Because this was like a between you and him dream, like circumstance of knowledge. Yeah. So he wasn't going to just like blurt that out.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's like Greff's really shitty handwriting.
Yeah.
That appear back in the book, yeah.
All capital and...
all caps.
Randomly placed sets because he thinks they look cool.
Might actually be the worst Greff.
Canon for Book of Greffisms.
The worst. Greffisms. Yep, great.
I like the idea of the necklace. It would be useful, but it is massively overpriced, I think. Yeah. I think scrolls and basic spoon enchantment is what you wanted.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's fine.
A bit of extra help, magic-wise, might be smart. I mean, I know that it's most of my magic. Moving the box thing is hard to do.
Do you want to ask her if she has a particular scroll or an item for you?
No, I mean, the thing is, I think that me making the box is only one thing that I can do, and it is a good bit of what I can do. But I think that most of the burden would come down to Kaz having to expend energy to change themselves and then make someone else smaller and perhaps having to change back between doing that. I worry about that more. It might be a good bit of your energy in order to make something work where we can do a very quick in and out risk scenario.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. As long as it works, it works.
But like we were discussing, you can't get caught. I certainly can't either, but if I do get caught, there's time.
I can arrange things. I can make sure that I have certain spells prepared so that if I need to get out, I can probably get out.
If they were going to kill Dindar, they would have already. But Dindar's a damn good finisher for when they want to tilt the scale to the point where we cannot make a comeback. So if they do catch me, you have to get me out.
Would never leave you behind. Okay, we need to clarify what the plans are. Are you going to send that box where? To a person that you know?
Yes.
Are you thinking that you're going to stuff yourself and box in the box, and then you're going to pop out wherever Alice is, and then you're going to stuff yourself, Vox, and Alice in the box and come back?
Yes, which requires 2/3 of my energy, roughly, and a good bit of magic on
On Vox's side, yes. That would mean we need to get somebody... Wait, can you send the box to Alice?
I can. But if Alice is tied up, he won't be able to open the box. And the box is in such a way that no one but the person can open the box. So if I could do a vision, and if I find that he is in a circumstance where he could open the box, it becomes a possibility.
Yes.
If he is incapacitated, it will not be.
My assumption is that he is most likely in a location where you can't teleport in and out of. I wouldn't be surprised. Because a mage that knows him should be able to get to him right now. If he is being kept as a strategic prisoner, my assumption is that they probably have something against this. So what we would need is somebody close by, but not wherever the block starts. Adnalov is quite sneaky. She's quite capable.
So we will probably need to teleport somewhere on the outskirts of where he might be.
Knock down some doors, kick some asses.
You hear a couple of shuffling and footsteps from below. Are you quite all right up there?
Yes. All scrolls, basic spoon upgrade, and if you can get another enlarged reduced scroll, that would be just peachy.
You hear scuffling from downstairs?
I'm looking not to expand all your slots, Arch.
It's a lot because you're going to have to use both of your shapeshifts.
Yeah. It's going to be painful.
One to get there and then one to get out.
Yeah. Greff will fight small. He's fine with that. Can you upcast Enlarge Reduce? Is it a concentration spell?
It's a concentration spell.
Yeah, so we need the scrolls to be able to do it to more than one person.
I don't think my box... Oh, it might be. Hold on. Let me check. Box is not concentration.
Okay.
She comes upstairs pretty quickly, and in her arms you can see that there's kind of like a little scroll box which seems to have a lot of scrolls in there.
I'm stupid.
And she also has a potion and an additional... She also has a potion and an additional scroll. Okay, so we'll get this correct. You have 1 scroll of sending, 2 scrolls of enlarge reduce, 1 scroll of identify, and a very basic spoon enchantment.
Greff puts 1,000 gold on the table.
Okay, not a problem.
Health potions.
Do I look like an apothecary?
No, you look like the black market. Sorry.
Has no one robbed an apothecary?
People have robbed apothecary.
We don't use the R word around here, Ivoris.
I don't have mundane potions like this. No. I have far more interesting potions. Thank you very much. Right. Spoon, please, my dear.
Yeah. She hands the spoon over.
She takes the spoon and she very slowly begins to pour this very thick viscous fluid over it, and it smells a lot like beeswax. And it has that really also lavendery smell to it as she kind of rubs it in, and as she's doing it, you can see she's actually moving her thumbs and her fingers in a very interesting pattern. There is a purpose to the way she does stuff. Aww. And after about a few seconds of doing this, you can see this very bright purple light begin to emit from her fingers. And eventually, in the pass of the patterns that she creates, the whole thing begins to turn purple. And then she looks over very quickly at the scroll, utters a few words in this kind of very deep, hoarse voice. The whole thing flashes. And she returns the spoon to you. Your spoon is now a +1.
Yay! It was already a +1.
It was? Okay, then it's now +2. Fair play.
Wait, what? How do I edit this? What?
Oh, don't worry. We can do that. Tawree.
Oh, there I got it.
You should be able to just like go into the like meta bit and just change it to 2 instead of a 1. It's also to the damage and the attack, so that's that. Okay, so she does that. That's fine. And she hands over the scrolls.
Tawree looks at her spoon. It's probably like a little bit shiny.
Yeah, it's really shiny at this point.
It's got waxed and oiled or whatever.
Yeah, it also smells a lot like beeswax. That smell does not go away.
Right. Anything else we might need?
Just give me a moment, please, darling. Oh shit, you have my bloody dice. Never mind.
Do you need me to bring it over?
Nope, it's fine.
It's okay. You're just on the other side of the counter. I can just come over.
No, it's totally fine. I'll use. I have a different way of doing this. She magically summons dice to her hand.
You know those aren't truly random. There's like an algorithm behind those.
Yes, well, that's fine. It's okay. I'm exceptionally high end at what I do.
I don't know. I hear they can go pretty one way.
All of your passive perceptions, please.
Oh, you're not going to like my answer.
That's all right.
That was
18.
10 plus the dexterity, or what was it?
Your perception. 10 plus perception.
Yeah.
16?
Same here.
Okay.
16.
And you said it was 18?
Mm-hmm.
You notice that as like she's casting the spell and as she puts the spoon down, she kind of has a hand in such a way that she looks like she's moving some of the additional gold that Greff had like off to one side. But she notices very quickly that she's probably going to get caught and she pulls her hand back.
Okay. Yeah, Vox is keeping a very close eye at that point. Just.
Mm-hmm. Anything else I can do for you, lovelies?
Oh, do you have anything that might help me see in the dark?
Don't you have the dragon?
Can't Goliath see in the dark?
No.
I just remembered I'm the only one in this group who can.
But you have
Oh
the
no,
dragon.
I can't see shit either.
You have Iran's dragon thingy.
But yeah, but I can't walk around with everyone's dragon thingy when we're doing infiltration missions. I mean, when we're looking for cookies in the night and we don't want Mom to see us.
Oh, right.
Speaking from experience, are we there?
Good save.
So Vox can't see in the dark? Okay.
I have a spell that lets me see in the dark, but I don't like using that.
No.
Now, talking about those wonderful potions, I do have one potion that would allow you to see in the dark for a small amount of time.
How small?
10 seconds.
I don't know. Let me check it out.
Compared to other people's dark vision, how small will mine
Which is
be?
permanent. I cannot give you a permanent upgrade, darling. I have a small potion that could do that. It would last anywhere between 2 to 8 hours.
Sounds.
And that would set you
usable.
back approximately 200 gold.
Per bottle?
Yes. Oh, if you don't want it, that's totally fine. It's entirely up to you whether you wish to make use of our potion facilities or not.
Damn, if we had more money. Oh, fuck. Okay.
So
Fine.
maybe identify the
offer.
sword, and if it's not good, you can still sell it.
That's a good point. Would you mind giving us a moment so we could use the identified thing? Because depending on what we find out, we may have further bartering to do.
Please, go ahead.
Okay. We do that.
It is done.
It is done. It is a +2 scimitar thingy. I think that's what it was, right? Yeah, scimitar.
Mm-hmm.
And it does an additional 1d10 age damage.
Oh, I don't like that. I mean, I like that, but I also don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
You love fucking around with ages, don't you?
Oh, it's great. It's the easiest way to kill some people. Like, just flat out dead. There's no revivify from that
She
shit.
tried everything, and she's resorted to that now.
I've resorted to the only thing we can't combat, age.
Okay, so Vox is trying
Wait
to keep...
until I start on that negative aging for those people who are only 23 years old. Looks at almost everybody.
now Tawree is 35.
Oh, Tawree's the mom of the group.
Yeah.
I like how V's filling your head with confidence about this sword and the age thing being very good and powerful and trying to make you keep this instead of bartering it. But I will remind you that it cannot kill Kells with the age thing.
Oh, I know.
So V, good salesmanship.
You're welcome.
I see you.
I see you.
Could you give us another moment?
You're really rather trying my patience.
Apologies. I'm trying to do good business.
Greff looks at the pile of 1,000 gold he's already handed over and just like, really?
Yes.
That
Well, I mean, the only reason it cost this low amount is because of your companion here. And she points at Tawree.
Me?
Yes, you seem to be a little bit of a fish out of water, if you don't mind me saying.
Oh.
Like, you kind of don't really belong in this scene. And, like, I don't know, wandering around with a spoon. It's kind of adorable.
I'm just trying to do my best here.
Have you seen the pet rabbit? That's pretty cute as well.
I've also noticed eating in my my cushions, so not quite so
is he
cute.
doing that again? Come back here.
I have a soft spot for fish out of water.
Just turn around while we have a little conversation.
Plug it.
So rude. Just look somewhere else.
What's up, Vox and Ivoris? What are we thinking?
Did the person go away?
Oh no, she's not leaving.
Ivoris is going to do a future vision while we're just...
Did she not offer us tea earlier? Maybe Tawree can just have tea with her.
She's already like poured tea for everybody, but yeah, if Tawree wants to go have like
Taree's just going to have tea with her, she'll just like having a little conversation to give the others a little bit time.
All right, I'll plot that in my head and we'll get back to you in a second.
Is the person gone then?
Yeah, she and Tawree are having tea.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to focus on Ollis and where he is. So I'm going to focus from this time at a different angle, that angle being on location. I want to know where we run into him at, potentially, in a future.
Like when, like the next time, or just whenever you might meet him again in the future?
The next time, like at this, at this rescue circumstance. Yeah. Boo! No, it's a 1.
Shrouded in mystery.
Blinded
like
by
you
the light.
don't even feel that like divine spark in your eye at all. Like there's nothing.
I'm just blind.
I'm not even having to protect Arliss. This is the greatest shit I could have asked for.
I can't roll good. I can't do it.
Absolutely nothing, I'm afraid.
So Greff notices like the telltale signs of Ivoris going blind. The claws come out a little bit as he like shifts and tries to get himself steady because he can't see the floor and balance from vision anymore. It's like, all right, that didn't go great. Okay, so
right. So this is a pretty cool sword. Does a good bit of ass whooping. Also ages people.
Oof.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Thing away from me. Ugh.
So,
not again.
Well, I mean, if anybody was going to fight with it, honestly, it probably would have been you. I would have said, but
no.
No,
I don't like those things.
No, not a big fan of scimitar. All right, that's fine.
No.
So my thought is, why don't we ask this person if maybe they have one of them fancy rings that you can like put spells in, and see if we can leverage the sword. And if that's the case, then, I mean, the ring would be pretty useful. I mean, I got some really good spells, and if I could throw that into a ring and just save it for the next day or something, like...
I'm game for that. If they don't have that, there's still the armor that we couldn't really, on a good conscience, afford for Tawree.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I haven't seen you throw a lot of swings, so I'm assuming you're not going to be wielding the blade a lot.
I mean, I could, but yeah, I'm more of a spell
Yeah.
type of... Yeah, I mean, I could. Maybe
I'm not
shapeshift
saying
into
you
a monkey
can't.
with a sword or something. I don't know. That'd be funny, but... What's a monkey? Nosebleed.
I've never heard of those.
Over in the corner before the gentlemen decide to rejoin them. The lady she turns to Tawree and she says, "So, what is someone like you doing in a place like this?"
I'm trying to help them achieve a goal so that I can see my kids again in the near future.
Oh no, dear! And she reaches out and she puts like a hand on like your upper arm. She's like, "Oh no, are they holding them hostage? Because I could just poison their teeth in here."
No. My kids are fine. They are well taken care of.
Okay.
But I need to finish up here before I can see them again.
Oh, with all the things in this world happening, it's good to know that Mother's love is still out there.
Yes.
It's been many years since I've seen my own, so...
Oh.
Little bastards that they are. But, never mind. Well, what's... If you don't mind me asking, and I probably shouldn't in my line of work, what is it that you're all doing? Why are you here in the capital? Things are about to go very, very sideways, from what I understand.
Oh, we're not going to stay here in the capital. We're just passing through. We're going somewhere else.
Oh. I've heard rumours from some of my more reputable friends that there may be things coming. That darkness and storm cloud outside, for example, is not natural. That should not be here. Yes, it is winter, but no, that should not be here at this time of day.
Do you know what it is? The cloud, I mean.
I have suspicions. I do. But you are all just passing through, yes?
Yeah.
You're not staying?
No.
Then I shouldn't feel the need to worry you with such a thing. You should, carry on. Get out of here as soon as you can. In fact, as soon as you walk out my door, I would leave. I'm planning on doing something very similar myself. You caught me in the middle of wrapping up my home. But a good businesswoman, she never passed up the chance. She looks at Tawree and she looks at the spoon. She looks at the bunny in the corner still eating its way through a cushion. And she looks back at Tawree and she sees that shed look in her eye and she says, I believe that there is a magical creature coming to deal with whatever this oncoming apocalypse is, and I think that they will be arriving pretty soon. And if I'm correct, I believe that there is 2 of them coming to deal with... Oh, hell. I believe that if the signs are correct, and my friends are correct, I believe that there are... You may not believe this. I think there are 2 dragons coming to fight a lich. That's my guess.
Greff's looking at the ceiling whistling.
So if I were you, I would take these things that you have just purchased from Sarsens, thank you for purchasing Sarsens, and leave.
How do you know that both of the dragons are coming to fight the lich?
Wait, you actually believe dragons are real also?
Well...
You're not planning on passing through, are you?
We will leave at a point, we hope.
We might not pass right through. We weren't planning on going right out of the city after we leave this establishment.
Usually I can see the future and tell you, but it's just not working at the moment. So
she looks at Tawree again, and she says, you're not passing through immediately. You're planning on staying.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. And you believe in dragons? You don't think I'm exaggerating about the existence of not one, but 2 dragons and a lich?
I do believe the thing with the dragons, but I don't know what a lich is.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to be honest here. It sounds like you need to do a fire sale because this city's going to hell.
Oh, don't worry. That basement of mine is very well protected. And after all this chaos is finished, I'll be able to come right back and start again. In fact, they will be so in demand for these things afterwards. I will make an absolute killing once this is blown over and I come back.
Wouldn't they be more in demand before the dragons come?
Yes.
You think your vault is dragon and lich proof? When did you test that? Who sold you that promise? And if you bought that promise, I have a bridge to sell you, my friend.
What's a bridge? No. You do whatever mission it is you're on. I feel like you have something far more important than just dealing with me here. Look, I will trade for you one of the items I previously discussed for whatever remuneration you have on you now, and you go do whatever it is to stop this dragons and lich.
Greff puts the rest of the money that he had on the table earlier, which would be 1,300 more. Looks at her and says, "The armor. And we'll get out of your hair."
What about the we were just talking about with the
sword? Scimitar?
You wouldn't have a weird ring of spell storing around, would you?
That, I'm afraid, I couldn't let go for nothing.
No. We have a sword that we don't really need. And Greff reaches to grab the scimitar, and you can see his skin tingles before he touches this thing. He's just puts it on the table.
Okay.
I would just be very careful who you sell that sword to.
Pretty fucking nasty.
Mm-hmm. I think some of my kin in other cities would find this sword exceptionally interesting. Yes. Give me a moment. She reaches over, she takes all the gold that's left, and she takes the scimitar with her. She goes downstairs, and she comes back up with 2 sets of armor. She comes up with 1 set of armor because you wanted the ring. She comes up with a set of armor, which would be magically gifted with a +1. And she also brings up a ring of spell storing. Here you go.
All right.
Oh, shit. Okay.
The armor. The armor goes to this lovely young lady here, not on you. I don't want to hear about it being on you ever.
Don't worry. I didn't intend to take the armor. I expected Tawree to put it on. Do you have something against me? Is it because I mocked your lich-proof vault?
Well, that is part of it. And I feel like you're probably holding back some gold on me. You do seem to be a bit of a dick. So, yes. But if any of you touch this precious lady here or let her die, I will be coming for you with everything at my disposal. Okay? Liches be damned.
She should just join the group, not me.
Oh no, my dear. I'm a coward. I would kill them with poison.
I'm not gonna lie. You've got my number 100% right. All right. Here's your 2,300 gold all in all, and I will be happy to leave. I'm sorry to have caused you strife. It's part of business. You know how it is.
I know. Well, I'm going to zip off. I'm going to lock up my thing. If you wouldn't mind leaving so I could finish my preparations to leave, that would be most appreciated.
Greff grabs the scarf before he leaves, because I am not going to let this bitch steal it.
She was going to just steal the gold. I wasn't going to steal anything off of you guys except gold.
Tawree takes the armor and says, thank you.
You're most welcome. Please, come see me again sometime. I would love to talk more.
Sure. Yes, I would love to if I can find my way here. I don't know how to get to it. I don't know exactly where we are right now.
No. I'm sure I can find you if need be. Anyway, good luck with the end of the world. Shoodaloo. Go on, shove off. With that, she's kind of like shoving all of you out. And you find yourselves outside. I'm going to put the extra armor on your armor. Please.
Why do I become such a dildo when I'm dealing with shopkeepers?
Because
you like screwing with me.
Yeah, because you know that V doesn't like shopping, and you're like.
I think when V is role-playing shopkeepers, there's something in her mannerism that changes that just absolutely sets me off. It is that hoity-toity, turn my nose up at you kind of thing. And it's just like, nah, I'm not taking that shit. I already gave you 1,000 gold and I'm going to call you out of your bullshit. Lich-proof vault, eat my ass.
There will be no ass eating, Ethel.
It wasn't an invitation.
It says still unarmored defense AC 18. Is that...
because you're a fucking monk. Oh, man.
Does that mean we don't really need the armor?
No. I did the unarmored defense. I added a +1 to it.
This just boosts the unarmored defense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got some good shit then.
Oh, wait. No, shit. Yeah, you got the fucking bullshit.
Monks don't wear armor.
Yeah.
I guess then that would be bracers, because that doesn't count as armor, right?
Yeah, you can go for ring, bracers, whatever you want.
Bracers of defense and like cloaks and
problem
shit.
Solved.
Yeah.
Cloak, problem solved. All right.
Cloak of AC +1, not a cloak of protection.
There we go.
Or you can just give her a cloak of protection. Those are fucking swell.
Yeah, I'm just going to add it to the unarmored defense. It did actually do the +1 as I'd intended it to.
Nice.
So yeah, you now have a cloak. That's fine.
Yay, cloak.
Easy peasy. Bloody monks. All right. Fucking monks. Sons of bitches. I keep forgetting you're not actually a rogue. God damn it.
I thought she was a warlock. I thought we had 2 warlocks on our team.
No, because of the demon money. And she called me a ranger in the backstory.
I love people who like fuck around with the class descriptions to make it sound like something else. It makes me so happy. Anyway, you find yourselves outside. The kind of cloud that had been rolling in that you had seen on the horizon is now less of a cloud in the up in the sky. All around you can see that this cloud is beginning to roll in. It's like a very thick mist. It's almost pitch black outside, almost as if it was midnight. It's very dark now, and the shadows have gotten longer and deeper. You can hear that there are sounds of like some ruckus coming from the main areas of the city itself. You guys are in like this back alley. It's very quiet and subdued here, but it's almost as if like you can hear someone shouting and screaming 3 or 4 roads away. And then Adlov just appears next to you.
Shit's about to go sideways.
What's the plan now?
We need to find out where...
As far as I understand, the capital, the palace, I think... Okay, not think. The palace is probably about a 10-15 walk in that direction, and she points like off to her direction. And that will get us to the edge. My plan was just to scale the wall and find my way inside and see if I can find the bugger.
Do another future vision.
What are you asking for this time?
How many different ways can I angle this? I want to know where he is right now. Is that fair?
Yep.
Let's figure out where he is right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna look.
It's lunchtime.
Yeah, I'm gonna see
Where's he
what's
eating his
up.
lunch?
5 minutes from now, what is Alice up to? Let's roll for that.
All right.
I just
Neil, that's
don't have a lot of
some cheeky
confidence when I click this button. I click this button with the least amount of confidence. And it's not a bad roll. It's a +5, but I just never pass these. 15.
You should have asked for a potion that can make your vision better or something.
I need future carrots.
Carrots?
Oh wait, were we just trying to find where he is?
His exact location. We need to know if we can deliver him a box or not. That's kind of what we're wondering right now. Is he?
The future check is a 16.
Yeah. Yeah, this just...
I'm so sorry.
Could I have guidance to myself? I do have that.
So...
Sure.
I mean, if that's what we're trying to do, I mean, if one of y'all got 25 gold and wants to get me some incense and shit, I mean... I could...
Can I ask,
yes, then you...
Can I ask Ottrup to go to Aulus and then have Ivoris look where Ottrup is?
Ottrup wouldn't know where Aulus is either, so he wouldn't be able to just like teleport to him or anything. All right.
With guidance, it's a 16.
Guidance of +1. Your vision is a little hazy as you look forward maybe a few minutes into the future. You see that Aulus is in a room with a very, very small barred window. There is no other light coming through. You can see that there is a big, heavy door with a very small, again, barred window in it. It's locked. He is manacled to the ceiling and his toes are barely able to touch the floor. He's not wearing any of his iconography at all. He looks like he's been hit a few times. There are lots of bruises. His lip is quite cracked. You can also see his lips are cracked. They're parched. He's very thirsty. He looks like he probably hasn't eaten in a while. You also hear the sounds of screaming. Not from Aulus, not from anybody else in this lower level, but through that very tiny window that leads to the outside, you can hear the sounds of screaming and yelling and very loud roars. It feels cold and damp in this cell.
Okay.
Unnaturally so.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah?
So I looked 5 minutes from now and got more than I was expecting in that description. So Ivoris comes back with somewhat of a panicked look on his face.
I have a feeling that whatever you just did didn't bode well.
He's not in a good place, and things are about to go down. Right now.
Then we should get moving.
Do you know where he is?
A lower level. That's pretty much all I got.
There's a dungeon beneath the palace. There's rumors that there is a sewer entrance, but I don't know where that is. If we only have a few minutes, then I don't have any way of contacting my contacts. Not that I should be contacting them at all. With that, Adenlov has begun, jogging in the direction of where the thing is, just so that you guys can keep moving on your way to it.
I might have a way to make things easier to find it, if that's the case.
Yeah, sure.
I could conjure a whole bunch of animals, like little things, like maybe some birds and rats and whatnot, and have them kind of fan out and see if any of them find it.
Go for it. No, but what? You said something's coming. What? Did you get a look, a feel, a sense?
Go ahead, Ivoris. Go ahead.
Roaring and screaming.
Like a bear?
Wait, they're gonna be here in 5 minutes?
5 minutes from now.
That soon. Okay.
The shopkeeper said there were dragons coming.
At this point, Adenlov is kind of sprinting.
Yeah, Ivoris is describing the room to try to give everyone as much help as possible. Figuring out if we could teleport, how close we can get there, what options are.
You said there was a window in the room. Was it looking out to, could you see the sky through the window?
Yes.
Yes and no. So the window was quite high up in like this.
No, just
dungeon
like
room.
if it was
Just
bright, like if it's bright enough that you could see either the side where the dragons were not coming from, or the side where the dragons were coming from, or something in between. So
the most you would be able to see really is dark skies and like clouds. And like the flickering of like light and flames, but you didn't really get like a good look at anything really. Just that, this window leads to the outside. It can't be that low underground because you could see above ground, but it's not. It's not like a.
No, I mean, I just meant that you can roughly tell from which direction, because I think the cloud is still rolling in, so you would have like one side of the sky that is still a little bit bright and one that is darker. And you could tell in which direction the window is facing, and we could approach the building from that direction.
I see what you're saying.
That is ridiculously smart. Yeah.
I love us indoor nerds, the three of us here, like, what the hell is she talking about? Like, sun moving places, window, what? Sky?
Wait, what? What do you mean, where's the sun? What does that tell us about shit? Like,
it sounds like some Minecraft bullshit.
In that case, I'm going to ask... Fuck, what is your name? Ivoris. Ivoris, could you roll a perception or a history check for me? Because you really didn't get like a massively good look, but I will give you an answer.
Nope. 7.
You don't recall.
Yeah.
You are too much of an indoor nerd to know.
I don't know. All the lighting is very confusing at the moment. Yeah.
All right, tell me about your small animal conjuring.
So I can conjure 8 beasts of a challenge rating of a quarter or lower, and it lasts for an hour.
Cool. How long does it take to cast?
1 action.
Perfect. I'm assuming you're summoning rats and birds?
Yeah, so that some of them can look for the sewer from the ground level, because rats, and then from aerial view.
Yeah, so they can probably direct the rats. Okay, as you run down this alleyway and like turn the corner, it's like not exactly a 90 degree, but it is pretty close to it. As you turn this very quick corner, ahead of you, you see like crawling out from under some of these fences that are broken and cracked, and you see that landing on like the path in front of you, you see all manner of small rats and birds that are kind of directly like sitting and or waiting for you.
Okay. Vox is going to give the order for them to fan out and attempt to find a sewer system that enters into the palace underground.
Cool. Roll an investigation for me on behalf of your conjure animals.
Investigation.
Yes, please.
I'm going to be doing another future check as we run. I gotta fit them in before we like get into the place, you know.
Before you get
Once I get there, I won't be able to do anymore.
So I have a plus 0, so I got a 12.
Okay.
I don't know if this is guidanceable, but
no, it's fine. Okay. Your creatures meander off for a while, and they won't be back yet with information, but they will be back with information.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just figure out. As you turn at the end of this alleyway, as you hit like another one of those like quick turns, you find yourself at kind of a path that branches left and to the right. And as you look to your left, away from the direction that Adlov has been trying to take you, you see this mist is rolling like a very thick cloud down this path away from when you're headed. And for those of you who have slightly keen perceptions, you hear the sounds of shuffling and scuffling, and they seem to be getting faster and headed in your direction.
Uh-oh.
Adlov, not paying any attention, just plows through the other way and away from where this cloud is. As you begin bolting your way down this extra thing, you can hear, those of you who have slightly less than keen senses, you suddenly begin to hear this scurrying and scuttling and this sounds of like groaning and mumbling coming from the cloud that seems to be almost catching up with you. It is right on your heels, and you become very aware that it is very cold, that this cloud is very dark and very heavy with, like, water. I mean, that's basically all a mist is. Ahead of you, you can see at the end of this alleyway, people are running. You're now finding yourself, like, at the end of this alleyway will be the main street, or a main street. And you can see lots of people running away. You can look across and see the cloud is also kind of beginning to come down in that direction. And then you hear the screaming off to one side. As you hit the end of this alleyway, this cloud is almost right behind you. It's directly off to the left-hand side of you. And as you begin bolting your way down to the right where Adnalov is leading you, ahead of you, you see this big palace. It has very tall walls and, like, iron railings around it. You can see that there are guards who are staring into the mist with wide eyes, like, what is happening? As you hear, as it rolls over some of the guards and some of the people who are trying to get away from this cloud, screams and cries and wishing for death as you keep running. And then up above you, you hear a massive roar. You see this huge gout of flame just erupt the street behind you into this cloud. And again, you hear lots of screaming, and that shuffling, scurrying, moaning sound just gets louder and louder. You keep running. To the left, you see that there is an opening into the palace itself. But that's when one of your rat creatures appears and very silently tugs at you and tries to pull you away from that entrance to off to one side towards what looks like a bakery of sorts.
Okay.
And they're continually trying to pull you in. Adnalov, however, is trying to get through the gates. What do you want to do?
Vox is going to quickly shout out to Adnalov, "Not that way, this way, follow me. Let's go. They found something."
Okay.
If it's bread, I'm going to be pissed.
They're magical beasts. They're not the mundane ones. Leave me alone.
Magical bread doesn't help me either, boy.
Bread transcends
Magical bread fix
dimensions, my
everything.
friend.
It's elven bread. What do you mean?
What would elven bread be doing here? Are you a traitor also?
I mean, if you want the technical answer, yes, but, you know.
Shh.
I'm a neutral party.
You follow your rat companions into this bakery. As you run in, the mist... Who wants to be the last one in?
Greff?
Cool.
Hold the door.
Greff, are you invisible?
Yes.
Right.
I said I pick up the scarf. Implicit in that sentence was I put it on.
Okay, good.
I have not been running with a bright red scarf down the streets like a silly person.
Oh no, I was more like there's a Goliath running down the thing with a big red scarf. No one's going to look at that, eh? As the group of you rush into this bakery, you can see that it has kind of been abandoned. The people from it have run, following the horde of people that are now running away from this cloud that is enveloping the city. Greff, as you are the last one in, you feel a cold shiver running down your spine.
Dun, dun, dun.
I would like you to please make a wisdom saving throw.
All right, I want a normal roll. Click. That's a 10.
Whoop. Anyone want to help him?
Guidance. Oh, wait, no, guidance won't work on that.
What are we working against here?
1 second. What's it called?
Indomitable?
Yeah, Indomitable. You can reroll a saving throw that you fail. So I'm assuming you're telling me I failed it.
That has absolutely failed, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. All right, 0. I do not have an inspiration because V gives me inspiration like she gives me love. None of it.
Rude. Oh no.
Come on.
That I feel is karma. Fuck you. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that over the sound of failure and karma kicking your ass. What did you roll this time?
I rolled a 9 this time.
I'm sorry. A little louder. I didn't hear
I
it.
rolled a 1 plus a couple of other rolls that makes a 9.
That was a 9, huh?
Yeah.
A natural 1, huh?
Yeah. That is an impressively bad roll. 2 in a row.
Yeah, I don't got anything I can give you. Sorry.
No.
I don't got inspiration.
I feel like
either.
after that comment, fuck
I
you,
would have
Aethel.
asked after I imagine Tawree came into the door and is like turning around. Is Greff in here? But
no one can see him. Oh my god, no one can see you. As you feel this cold shiver down your spine, as you're looking into this bakery, as your foot is passing out of this cloud which has just enveloped it, out of the mist that has just enveloped it, and you close the door, you realize that you can't see anything. You have been blinded.
By the darkness.
Greff, are you in here?
Yeah. It's a bit dark in here.
Well, it is dark outside too.
Yeah.
It is pretty dark in here.
I probably should have bought those potions of dark vision. Did I buy those potions of dark vision? Greff checks his pockets.
No.
Should have bought
You
that.
do have the Dragonling. You have the Dragonling lantern.
Right. Let me just get out the lantern.
As Greff is faffing to get this lantern out, you notice that all the, thankfully, the windows are closed. The door is just closed behind Greff, and that tiny swirl of mist has just dissipated. For those of you who are still able to see, you see people running past the window. And as you look again, you realize that these creatures are not living. Some of them are missing their jaws, some of them are missing their arms, some of them have very clearly spent some time rotting and decaying. Some of you notice that some of them aren't walking at all, they're gliding, unaffected, ethereal in nature, glowing very slightly blue or purple. Yep, that's what you get. You hear screaming. There you go.
Greff gets out the lantern, tries to turn it on.
You find it really difficult to turn on, and eventually you do. You feel that kind of magical spark, but it doesn't seem to be illuminating shit. For the rest of you, it is kind of bright.
Greff, turn it off.
You can see the lantern light, but you don't see anything else.
I think
Get
it's
that out
broken.
of my face.
No,
it's working.
No, Greff, it works fine. Just fucking turn it off. It's too bright.
It's I can't see anything.
Open your eyes.
My eyes are open. Greff
Are you sure?
pins his eyes open to make sure that he's not insane at this moment.
Accidentally stab yourself in the eye because you can't see what the fuck you're doing.
You can't see his eyes.
All right, we need to move. Greff, grab onto my hood.
What? Where
Here.
are you?
We try to.
Greff is waving the lantern in front of himself.
Jesus
trying to
fucking
find-
Christ.
Ivoris would be the only one relating to that. I know exactly how this feels like.
Just grab him and let's go. We gotta go. And I'm following the rat.
The rat leads you into the kitchens. And it's very obvious that one of these ovens, though hot, isn't actually working as an oven. You can see that there are drag marks on the floor just in front of it.
Oh, fucking muscles over here can't fucking see shit. Great. Someone help me pull this shit out.
What kind of shit?
Sure.
Oven.
So there's a big oven, but it's obviously not being used as an oven. And there are lots of drag marks on the floor in front of it.
Okay, so it's a movable oven. That's where I was confused. I was like, how do you move it? It's made of stone, in a corner of the room.
Oh, it is fucking heavy, don't get me wrong. Okay, with both of you, can one of you please roll me a strength check at advantage, please? Or an athletics.
Go ahead, Tawree. You got this.
I don't think I'm... Strength check? Wait.
Or
just
athletics.
Like this?
There you go.
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
17. So you can actually roll that again.
Okay. 3. Nope.
So it's a 17.
So 17. The pair of you just kind of really put your backs into it, and you kind of begin to push this thing, and then it becomes suddenly a lot easier to get behind it and push it against, using the wall as leverage. And as you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, you notice that there is a very narrow trapdoor beneath it.
Do you think we need to go there?
That's what they're telling me.
Okay, let's go. Ivoris, drag Greff this way. There's a door, a pathway down here. Going down here.
I can't see anything. Can we fix this?
I don't have any way to fix that sort of shit right now.
Neither do I.
All right.
Have to hope that it will go
Just
away.
describe for me in an authoritative voice everything that I need to do.
Can I use dark vision on him? Does that work? Or is that...
You could try.
Dark vision doesn't fix blindness.
Okay.
It's a funny idea, but I don't think it works.
I mean, you could attempt to negotiate with the bunny, but I'm not sure that they may be up for the task. All right. Who's opening up the trapdoor?
I would like to check for traps first.
Take a perception check, please. Or an investigation or whatever you feel like you can argue.
24.
Yeah, there is a very basic trap on here. It is a mechanical trap. It's not magical at all. You can tell that basically if you lift this without disabling the trap, that you will have off to the left-hand side, there is what looks like very small holes and slits in the wall, which you would assume would either be arrows or like spikes pointing out. And also the handle itself also is covered in many, many like razor-sharp pieces of metal. Just hidden in that really annoying little place.
Fucking amateurs here. Hang on a second. Yeah, so Vox just reaches into their bag and pulls out their thieves' tools and starts going to town.
Sleight of hand, please, or thieves' tools check.
19.
Take a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, fuck. 7. Oh, wait, I was supposed to use my dice for that. That's fine.
Are you sure?
I mean, if you let me, I'd rather, but...
Nah, it's not that much damage.
Oh, good. 19 didn't break that. What the fuck?
As you attempt to disable this trap, you manage to stop the little arrows that just like, or as you see, arrows shooting out from the wall and hitting at you as you open this. But your hand slips just ever so slightly and you cut your fingers like very, very deeply and you take 8 slashing damage.
8?
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage, Fee. I only have 51 health.
Should have thought about that before you decided to slash your fingers open on a trap.
Was I not close enough that I could use deflect missile or something? We did just...
If I had flavored it the other way, yes, but alas not.
All right, so Fox just kind of like lets out like a sharp intake of breath. The fucking motherfucking piece of shit that put this shit here. Fucking God. Okay.
What's your language, young man?
Whack him with a spoon.
Don't. You might knock me unconscious.
Oh, 51 HP. That's loads. What you see beneath you is just a very steep set of stairs. They're made of stone. You can see there are sconces on the wall for torches, but none of them are lit. You can also see that there is what looks like a button at the very bottom, which you would assume would be what deactivates the thing and move the or indicates to move the oven above them.
Say all of that thing that you just said with the thing again.
There's a button at the very bottom of the staircase, which, if pressed, would indicate that they need the oven moved and deactivate the traps.
Oh, okay, great. Good to fucking know. All right, let's get going, shall we?
Is it stairs?
I already
or
hate
is
this
it a
place.
ladder?
Stairs.
Okay, so Greff can go down there.
Yeah.
I can fucking blind go downstairs or ladders. Don't you doubt me.
Boom, 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 boom.
I made it to the bottom.
I also landed on my bottom.
As you get to the bottom of this staircase, Greff, you feel like a jump and a tug around your neck as Adenlov removes the scarf.
Oh, she was here the whole time.
Yeah, she's with you guys.
Oh, I should have had her help me. Fuck.
Okay. Adenlov, somebody just took the scarf. It is no longer my responsibility to return it back to you.
Greff, have you lost my scarf?
No, it was taken from me. Does that cause us losing something?
Yes. You had possession. Like, she's kind of like grabbed you by the wrist and she's kind of pulling you forward. You can tell it's her. She's small hands and much, much shorter. Clearly, you had possession of the scarf and now it's gone.
Then it was stolen from me.
It is still your responsibility.
Then you're responsible for returning it to me.
I don't see the flaw in your logic, but I don't.
No, you don't,
agree
because
with
you're
you.
blinded.
Yes, that is a problem.
I can't. Okay. Please just say you took it. I don't want to get into trouble.
You hear her stop. You kind of like sense and feel her like standing directly in front of you, and you can tell that she's looking up to speak to you, and she's like, yes, I took it back. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to lighten the mood. I'm not used to traveling with companions to do things like this.
I don't think we have the time to joke around. We only have 5 minutes.
Yeah, we gotta fucking go. Like, right now.
Okay.
So we go.
Go.
Keeping an eye out for more traps, because I don't trust.
That little eyebrow wiggle me.
No, you managed to run like the length of this passageway, and you can smell the sewer before you reach it. It's pretty grim. For those of you who are running in the lead, who can't see in the dark, I'm guessing it's just Vox at this point.
Say again?
Oh, I'm double blind, so
you can't see in the dark.
Right.
I need to see if Adenov can see in the dark. I don't remember if goblins can.
And Greff is still blinded, right?
Ivoris does have a light, though.
Oh,
yeah, right? Because Ivoris had cast a light spell.
Yeah, a light.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, then that's simple easy. You can make it as bright as you wish as well. So there's a dim light following along with all of you. You can see ahead of you that this escape tunnel leads to the sewer, and you can smell it way before you get there. And you can see that there are a series of these tunnels that seem to have been like knocked into like the side of this sewerway. Your rat companion leads you to one which is a bit further up and across, and you can probably guess/tell that this is directly underneath the palace itself. As you continue along this pathway, Greff, you're kind of not exactly, you're kind of slowing the team down because you have no sense of what's going on.
Yeah.
But Adlov is being as patient as she can with you and just keeping you moving forward. It's been about 4-5 minutes in this underground passage when, Greff, your vision begins to slowly clear. And it's over a course of about a minute before you can actually see where you are. And you all find yourselves at the bottom of what looks like very clearly an escape tunnel. The stone here is much smoother and nicer than everything that you guys have run past recently. You can see that there is clearly a very well-maintained ladder in front of you. You can see up above you there is a very nice mahogany-looking trap door which seems to have a bolt on the which seems to have a bolt drawn across it. You can also see that there is like a small kind of depression in the wall, which would ring true to Vox as like clearly some sort of like signal or trap deactivation.
I think I can see again. Okay. We're super underground. Okay.
Sewer, Greff.
You should have been able to smell that.
I genuinely
that
can't
wasn't
smell
just
anything.
you, Greff.
I haven't been able to smell anything since I got to Kino. I think this ring is broken.
I don't think that's true, Greff.
Okay. Let's press that button, get through that thing.
Oh, well, okay, so here's the problem with that is if we do that, we're literally lighting a signal saying, hey, there's somebody in the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll kill whoever saw that signal, and then kill whoever saw us kill that guy until we'll repeat that cycle until we get tomorrow.
Greff.
No.
I feel like...
Don't blame him, he doesn't know espionage.
Subtle. Yes, subtlety. You can't just murder everyone you come across, Greff.
I'm so tempted to say, like, Greff's just like, seems to work for me.
Okay.
But no, Greff does not say that. I don't want to
Adnilov, how
He thinks
about
it really loudly.
you take the lead, I take the lead. Why don't we try to see if we can get this working in a way where it disables the traps without flipping the little light switch on?
Right. Okay. She ties the scarf back around her neck, but she can't use it. Needs at least an hour before that shit will work now. Okay. She goes over to look at the button, the depression, and she looks at the bolt also. Can I have you roll a thieves check at a thieves tool kit, whatever it's called, at advantage. Adlov is assisting / you're running it. So.
Okay. 23.
Between the pair of you, you very quickly make very light work on the trap that is on the button and on the one that is attached to the trapdoor. You manage to deactivate the painful parts. Very, very subtly, Adlov manages to deactivate the kind of signaling that there is in there to let people know that there is somebody in the tunnel wanting to come up. And you're very easily and very able to push up the trapdoor with no obvious alarms or anything like that going off. Pushing up this trapdoor very subtly and very carefully, you find yourself in a wine cellar. The floor is this very dark mahogany colour, and you can tell by looking around and putting your head out just a little bit, it was not very obvious at all there's a trapdoor here. You can tell that there are rows and rows and stacks of wine bottles of all different sizes and shapes. There's not any light in here. But as you open the trapdoor, you can hear very distinctly the loud sounds of dragon roars all around you. Sorry, from the building all around you above. You can hear the sounds of many shuffling feet, and you get that cold, icy feel whenever something undead is around. You also feel a lot of magic in the air. Like you've gotten too close to an electrical circuit. That's how it feels.
Okay, I feel we're really far out of our depth here. But we kind of don't have a choice in the matter now.
No, we don't. You said you have a plan. When we get Arliss, you spoke about 3-foot box. You have a plan. Did you get something from Sarsens, I'm assuming?
You were in the box, weren't you?
I haven't used any spells, so I can make 3 boxes go somewhere.
Can we put you in a box?
Yes.
Where are you sending everyone?
Where would we like to go? I have a safe place somewhere out on the ocean. That's about it. Maybe out on the ocean.
Forgive me for being forward, but would that be Baskin?
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
Would Baracus open a magical box that arrives to him?
Sorry, it gets you, Vox, and Arliss out.
Depending on how many people we can put in each box, I can send 3 if I don't cast anything. Or I could cast 2 and do 1 instance of enlarge and reduce. So
okay.
I can get in the box with someone smaller.
And I still have my 2 spells, so I could shrink 2 people on 2 separate occasions. And then I can shrink myself as well.
Greff hands Vox 2 enlarge reduce scrolls. There you go.
Okay. In that case, then I could shrink 4 people and then myself.
As far as I understand, scrolls are a minute plus, right?
I think they just have the standard. I think they have the standard duration. Greff would not know this. Let's leave his voice behind.
Scroll of sending. I should probably, if that's the plan, let him know to open the boxes quickly so that I can cast them and move them quickly.
Yeah, it requires the normal spells casting time. You're right. I thought it was an extra minute, but I think I'm thinking about ritual.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's the same casting time. Okay, well, if things go wrong, you have to focus on getting you three out. If things go wrong.
We will reserve as much energy as we can. That's about all we can do. And that will allow us to move more people.
Okay.
I will let Baskin know. And he gets ready to cast his sending.
Yep, go for it. What do you want to say?
Oh, how many things do I have? Oh, this is going to be a thing. I might need to think about
25 words. And you need at least 3. All right, it's okay. I can cover until you think of it. That means the 3 of us, and she looks at Greff and at Tawree. We need to buy them as much time as possible. Cool. Great. I love my job. And she makes her way into the wine cellar. And she kind of like offers a hand that she has and gets people up as best she can.
So we just run through this thing and make as much noise to distract from the fact that they're doing things, or?
In the first instance, I think we should all get as subtly and quietly as we can to Arliss's, I'm assuming, cell.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ivoris will send everybody he can. And if we get detected, if we are found out, then the 3 of us need to find a way of buying them time to get those 3 out.
Yeah.
Okay.
As much as I don't want to waste lives, they need to not fall into the hand of Kells. That's the whole reason we're here.
Okay.
All right. Okay. You guys make your way to the the only entrance that is leading into this wine cellar itself. And Adnor very carefully and quietly opens the door. And there is a long corridor that leads forward and off to the left. And you can see occasionally like doors that have been put into the side of these walls. And it is very obvious that you guys are in kind of like the dungeon storage area itself of this palace. What do you want to do? Do you have your message for Baskin?
Sure. We can figure it out as we go here. I didn't count words or anything, but I figured out that I can probably get it. He says, in the capital, things are bad.
Understatement.
Dragons, exclamation mark.
I'm more powerful now. I am I'm trying to figure out how to word this sentence. How do I word get the people out of the box this sentence quickly?
We'll send box.
I'm sending
I'm sending
open boxes.
I'm sending boxes.
Open them.
Open immediately.
Please be fast. I miss you. Wish me luck.
I love you.
The last 3 for I love you.
I fucking adore you, Neil.
By the way, you can
Kino
you can save words if you leave out I am and just go for the next verb.
And you will get a response to that when we do the next episode.
Hooray.
Okay.
Yay!
Hi everyone, thank you for listening to episode 27 of Kino. This was fun, even though I spent 2 hours shopping, which is not my favourite activity. It was just a lot of fun to interact with everyone in a slightly different way, a slightly dodgier version of Sarsens. It was a lot of fun. If you want to leave us any comments, any suggestions, any questions about what you'd like to see Sarsens as available as something they could buy, just go ahead and tweet at us. You can find us on pretty much all the social medias at TLD Pod. You can also email us if you want to. I think that's basically it. Thank you for your patience in standing by in our somewhat hectic release schedule right now. We just want to say thank you. We are trying our best to get things out, but life TM is being a bit of a thing. So, basically, thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye!